As Lester settles back into bed, red rose petals begin falling from the ceiling, lightly covering him. He smiles, lost in an imagined vision, Angela, his daughter's friend, suspended above him, covered only in scattered petals on a bed of roses. Back in the real world, Jane complains to her mother that the music at the family dinner is boring, as usual, and, to her surprise, Lester speaks up to defend his music selection. He wants her to have a new car if she wants one, but Jane shoots him down. The ice is broken, but perhaps a little too eagerly on Lester's part. During her open house today, Carolyn works hard to give off the impression of thriving and successful, even if that success means she must get up at dawn for hours of Saturday, cleaning every spot before an open house. Back at the Fitz's house, the neighbors who love roses, Jimmy informs Ricky that he is expected to get a job, rather than just filming around town. It's all part of a plan to get him straightened out again, so he calls Angela, the girl, for a chat and a job offer, but she hangs up right away, and Ricky then decides to catch Angela outside of the family window again. Carolyn's frustration boils over as she reminds Lester to act happy tonight, and, as Lester's renewed interest in life and youth takes root, he cheekily promises to be whatever she wants him to be. Later, Lester offers the catering waiter, Ricky Fitz, a beer and realizes that he recognizes Ricky from the neighborhood. Ricky admits that he recently moved next door with his family, prompting Lester to become comically inquisitive as to whether Ricky partakes in a particular pastime. After a brief, awkward meeting in the parking lot with Jane's friend Angela Hayes, Carolyn runs into Buddy Kane, a successful real estate magnate who has eyes for her as Lester heads to the bar for a drink. Lester's mind is beginning to spin out of control, but his new neighbor Ricky catches him at the bar and offers him the G1/3. Back at home, the two girls, Jane and Angela, are on the bed looking out the window that Ricky has been catching Angela from, and Ricky is there now watching them from the sidewalk. Realizing that they will get caught, they run off to hide. At the dinner, Carolyn is still upset at the fact that Kane's personal records make his out to be the Rolls-Royce of realtors, and that she has been working so hard but still has a long way to go. Lester walks into the bedroom of Fitz, Ricky's dad, who is giving a strange tour. The camera then pans over to Ricky's camera, where he is recording her every move from outside, and his mom comes over and says hello, and she is really strange too and seems off the drugs. Looking to improve himself, Lester seeks some advice from his jogging neighbors, only to learn that Ricky sells G19 and is considered an upstanding citizen to some. Ricky closes the door. Jane doesn't say anything as he opens the camera and starts playing his next clip, a plastic bag flying in the wind next to a brick wall. Ricky shares that it was one of those days where it was only a minute away from snowing and there was electricity in the air. The bag was dancing with him, and he said he realized that there was this entire life behind things, and this incredibly benevolent force that wanted me to know that there was no reason to be afraid, ever. Back at the Smiley's counter, Burnham makes the order. "Would you like smiley sauce with that?" The camera then pans to Burnham's face as he starts to imagine Fitz's face on the burger employee. Carolyn is driving Buddy Kane to a motel in hopes of landing him as a real estate client, to which he responds by saying, "If you're not the lead dog, the view never changes." Jane is sitting in her room looking at herself in the mirror. Then there is a knock. Carolyn opens the door and tells Jane that because Ricky didn't get out of the car, he can stay for the night. As the camera goes into Ricky's room, the lens makes it clear to understand the obsession that Ricky has with capturing and analyzing his world through video in a search for beauty. "I know you think my dad is harmless, but he's not. He's doing massive psychological damage to me." Ricky goes to bed as she says these words. Fitz enters the room of his son and beats him before being told of their relationship. "This is for your own good, boy," and tells him to steer clear as he leaves and Ricky cries. As Ricky leaves, Lester walks back into the kitchen, opens another beer, and looks at the bowl of roses Carolyn had been using as part of her sales pitch. Angela appears in her room where Jane is staying and states, "You would be out of your mind to go with him." It all continues where Ricky enters the house as well, and there is something wrong. The camera goes to Carolyn in the car, who says she refuses to be a victim, and as she pulls up, she is going to stop this cycle. A shot rings out. "I have something I have to say to you, Lester." There is then one final transition to a black screen, and a child lying on the grass as the clouds pass. Throughout Lester's life as he is dying, he is reflecting upon all of his life's greatest and smallest, most interesting aspects. From these great to small things, and then the screen goes black for the end. Thanks for tuning in. Stay curious, stay awesome, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more amazing content.